Welcome to Tonics In, the best way to talk about video games. Hosted by my Roslo Khan and Saga Tender.
The podcasts always kind of like start with like casual conversation and then it fades
As
into
if they were
like,
just kind of like, yeah, like, ha, we're just talking about
oh my
something
god,
randomly, and then
like the weather.
I
Oh
know,
my god.
fall is happening.
Even though we're like in totally different areas, the weather.
It's the weather,
It's the
always the
weather.
same everywhere. Weather,
All the same everywhere. Jesus Christ, that'd be horrible.
weird ass planet you'd have to live on for that to be the
Oh,
case.
I'm not smart enough to know which planet that would be, but I bet there is
Uh,
one. So as a like starter thing, what are we having to drink right now? Hey, if you are drinking
Oh,
at whatever crazy morning, you're 10 o'clock
it,
in the morning.
I remembered that this was that whole point of the podcast was to drink, and
Yes.
so I am.
Oh, very good. 10 in the
I
morning
have
drink.
I have the orange dreamsicle dessert sour,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's tasty.
That
It's by Russell Brewing.
that sounds really nice.
Yes.
I don't have a beer this time, because
Ooh.
I was cheap and the thing I like was on sale. So I'm having a rum and coke, but the rum is called Red Leg, as in like a crab's leg.
Mm.
And it mainly has like vanilla and ginger in it, and it is way better than
Mm.
any like spiced rum I have ever had. And it's like it has like a cork on the top as well, so when you open it up, it's like boom. So, I
Ooh.
mean, it's super class, even though it's only like 15 pound, but whatever.
Hey.
Whatever. I
Nice.
like it.
That's cool.
So yeah, I'm on my second rum and coke, which is pretty hardcore
Sweet.
when I haven't had anything to eat in like
Mm.
5 hours.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, shut up, phone. Don't ruin this. I'm gonna mute it. Oh, it's mother. Lovely.
So we're definitely
Anyway.
cutting this out.
No, it's fine. Let's keep going. Just ignore him, Mom. Alrighty. So let's get into gaming news. Should I go first or should you go first? How many do you have? You have 4 different things.
I do have 4 different
So
things.
you should go first because I have 3. Although one of ours is exactly
Perfect.
the same, so it's fine.
Perfect. Okay,
Yay.
so first thing I picked out of the news was that Twitch has a big old DMCA purge, deleting thousands of streamers' videos. So they're cracking down on all kinds of copyright and whatnot. So if you're playing music during your stream and it is under copyright law, you're getting hosed. You're being demonetized or the videos are being removed immediately. So um, Twitch kind of like clamping down on streamers, and I don't know. I
Mm,
don't think I like it.
no, I don't like it either. Because we are all about the gaming music, and I know
Hmm.
that on your Twitch you have like the like get look at what I'm like listening to right now. Although I don't really know if you like have that in the background or
Hmm.
not. But I've noticed because I've had problems with randomizer because they take clips from like the link to the past background music and they fucking like demonetize anything. Even though I don't
Hmm.
monetize, they're just like, fuck you, we're gonna make money off of
Hmm.
this. I'm like, okay, fine. um
Yeah.
so yeah, it's kind of turning into that game again where it's like if you're making money and you're on Twitch and you have music, it's just like you're kind of getting fucked over. And it
Hmm.
really does suck. It should be more free to use. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I get why you want to do it, but it just
Yeah, I mean,
sucks.
it's one of the things that I find is if you hear a track that you maybe never heard before, you might ask the streamer, "Hey, what's playing right now?"
Mm.
Then maybe you become a fan of that artist that you never would have known of before. Like, I think it's just so backwards the way that people view how music is shared these days. Like, it's just
Mm.
so old world, you know? Like, I mean, so many artists like I only have found through, maybe somewhat dubious means, but then after that
Dubious.
you go see him in concert or something afterwards, or you
Yeah.
buy their next album that comes out,
Yeah, you support them
so
in some way. I mean, that happens to me when, like, especially like game music. I think it's called Endless Legend on Steam. I think it's on other stuff too. But I just like listen to music. I'm like, yo, I dig this shit. And then I donated to whoever made the music, and I got the full soundtrack. So it's just like, yeah, it works. Advertising it that way and having like popular people play your music in the background. It's so good for like marketing it. But yeah, everyone just seems to be like, everyone, like, they think everyone is stealing shit. And I'm like, no, like,
come on.
I mean, it's a lot easier now just to buy or get a Spotify account and just have it like that. It's like extra work trying to steal shit now.
Yeah, it really is. It's not even like the Wild West like it was maybe, I don't know,
10 years ago?
15 years ago.
Yeah.
When you were definitely, online on all kinds of, like LimeWire and Kazaa and Napster and all that.
Exe.
Yeah, all these like sketchy ass sites giving your computers viruses just so you can get a song.
Yeah. We kind of missed that because we were so old school. We didn't even have like a fucking computer until like way later. And Wi-Fi was like super new, like in like 2010. I think we got Wi-Fi. And it was like, oh my god, we're so behind.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing, like, if I think back to me 10 or 15 years ago versus me now, I buy more music than I ever have, and it's because I found, through various means, I found artists that I like, and I support them. But yeah,
and we can afford it.
I guess so.
Somewhat.
Maybe, yeah. A little bit of extra cash helps.
My cash has been like steady, like below average, but that's fine.
Me too.
It's fine.
Seriously.
Everyone else makes way more than me. It's like, oh shit.
Feels like it. You're just like, god damn.
Yeah. It's like,
how did you get that?
I work
job?
at Game and I get this. It's like, oh, that's like how much I make, and I have a degree. Oh no.
And I'm busting my friggin' ass here.
Yes, exactly. But yeah. I do not support that, and I hope it gets resolved, or at least there's like a loophole that you can like do the whole like fair use shit that you can use.
Yeah.
But
just gotta chill.
Yeah, we'll have to see about that. Yeah. In my first general gaming news, because it's all over my YouTube, and I'm like, I haven't played it yet, and I'm like, I don't know if I should. It's the Genshin Impact. It's just like taking over, and it looks like Breath of the Wild, but like Weeb edition. And I'm like, oh, that's like all the good things, but I don't know if I want to play it. I mean, it's free, so why not? But I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to get sucked into it.
It's getting a lot of hype right now, and that'll lead into our main topic a bit later, I think. But
yes.
yeah, like, I mean, you can't get away from Genshin Impact right now. Like, everybody is jumping on board. It does look pretty good.
Yeah. No, it looks legit.
Yeah, lots of like interesting stuff going on there, and it doesn't seem like it's still a gacha game, but
yeah,
I don't know. It feels like you can get away with the free to play at least.
Yeah,
so,
I think it gives you enough, and especially like hungry ass like teenagers who don't earn money yet, and they're just like, we need our weeb addiction thing, and it's like, here you go. It's kind of also like the Among Us, because apparently it's free on mobile or cell phones or phones, whatever you want to call them.
Yes.
It's just mobile over here. So yeah, like, cause I have girls at my work that are just like, Miss, do you play Among Us? And I'm like, I've watched it, yes, but I haven't played it yet. Oh my god, you should totally play it. And I'm like, how the fuck do you, how are you affording this shit? Like, I know it's like only like £5, but like, where are you getting this from? It's like, oh, it's free on mobile. And I'm like, so that's why you all get everything. Okay, cool. So,
man, yeah, it's funny, like, Genshin is just kind of like the latest one, but like there's been so many games during all of this like COVID stuff that have just like blown up the scene, and like everyone can't stop talking about them, like Among Us. Like, where did that even come from? And everyone is going nuts about it.
Yeah, apparently it's been around for like 2 years too, and like, just now people are like latching on and being like, yes, this is the best.
Like, I feel like it's like fun a couple times, but like I know people that play it like literally every night, and they have a blast, and like that's super great, but it's just not quite for me.
Yeah, no, I watch and I just yell, and I'm like, they're sus! Oh my god, they're sus! I'm like, if you try and give it to me, I'm like, nah, I'm fine, I want to watch. So
I guess it's like the social aspect of a game like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seeing as we're all like still locked in our homes for the most part.
Yeah, so you can like communicate with people and yell at them
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
being stupid, you know.
Because it's basically, it's like a based on like a kind of, isn't that game Mafia, which I think is like, is it a board game of
Ooh,
sorts, or like
maybe.
sort of?
Maybe.
It definitely feels like a game that you would play with a group of people in person, and so it's just kind of like a digital version of that, which I think is why it's so popular, because yeah, people play a lot of board games together in group settings, and so
yeah, no.
it would make sense that it would translate over to digital pretty well.
Yeah. No, I just looked up the Mafia party game. I'm like, oh, also known as Werewolf. Well, I'm like, okay, that's
Yes, yeah.
That's
I played that one too.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the game has two alternating phases. First, a night roll in which the night killing powers may covertly kill other players, and then the day where they try to like suss out people. So yeah, that's legit. I had no idea this game existed. It sounds really fun. I would like to play it once I'm able to mix households, which I am not allowed to do right now.
Oh my.
Yes, we're in Tier 2 in Birmingham here.
Ooh.
Ooh. People know where I live if they listen to this now. Woohoo.
Uh-oh.
Birmingham's a big city, so good fucking luck trying to figure out where I am. So yeah, that was one of my news things. Just like, yeah, shit's exploding. It's just like it was like, yeah, Fall Guys, Among Us, and now it's Genshin Impact or Genshin Impact. There we go.
Yes.
So, all right, on to your next one.
Okay, so the next thing I have is the game Eastward. It's been kind of in development for a little while now, and they just started posting a couple of new screenshots, and so it doesn't really give you much to go on, but this game has been on my radar for a while, and it just kind of went a little bit silent for a while.
Right. Yep.
So to see it back up and running, and with the promise that it might be coming out soon, I'm really excited to see that game come out sometime soon. I think it looks like maybe middle of next year, I'd say. Maybe even spring of next year.
That's fine. There's still probably COVID around, so we'll have lots of time to tackle
but
it.
it just got it's got a great like pixel art style, and it looks kind of like
Stardew Valley.
It's Stardew Valley-ish, I guess, with the look, and it's got what appear to be like some light action RPG elements, so it kind of feels like out in the world you're doing like Secret of Mana kind of
very good
fighting and stuff.
So
and,
yeah, I don't know what that's called. That fight mechanic is real time.
Yeah.
It's shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It caught my eye a while ago, and to see it back in the news is exciting. I'm really hyped for that one.
Nice. So, I had no idea about this, and so yeah, when you sent me the link, I'm just like, what the fuck am I looking at? I'm like, it's just like a little Twitter, sorry. Just like, oh yes, random thing. It's just Japanese everywhere. I'm like, cool, don't know what's going on, but I'm like, yeah, this looks pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I would totally be behind this. Yeah, I'll basically ask, like, when you get it, just ask, how is it?
Yes.
But yeah, similar kind of vein is, like, I've been keeping my eye on that, what's it called? Eiyuden Chronicle?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah. I didn't kickstart back it because I got fucked over by Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and they still haven't given me my game, so I'm kind of like, harumph, fuck you. So I'm just gonna wait until this like legit comes out. But it came back into my radar because I've been doing a thoughts on music of Motoi Sakuraba, and all the music he's done. And he's listed as one of the composers that's going to do the music for it. Alongside, and this is what made me even more excited, Michiko Naruke, who did the Wild Arms music.
I know, right?
And I'm
Isn't
like,
that such a weird throwback?
I'm just like, yo, girl, she's back! So I'm quite excited.
So much whistling. Here it comes.
Yeah, whistling and just hype, like, battle music is what I'm looking for. So I'm quite excited. about that.
That should be a pretty good combo there. Those two working together, hopefully.
Oh, I don't think they've ever worked together, and I'm like, yo, yeah.
Yo.
Alrighty, moving on. My next one is just the general PlayStation 5 is being released November 12th over here at least. And I just did some fun little calculations as to how much it's going to cost me versus you. Because it's advertised as $4.99 in the US and Canada. And I'm paying $4.49 in the UK.
Oh.
And then when I when I converted that on the money exchange, I'm paying $769 Canadian.
Oh my god, $769.
Yeah, I'm paying like $300 more than you, and I'm like, fuck.
That's bonkers.
Okay, 200 more than you. Sorry, my math is terrible. Well,
my.
269. That's fine.
Wow.
But
that is so rough.
I fucking hate the UK for this.
Yeah, no kidding. You guys get hosed on console prices for sure.
And we always get shit released later. Even though it's it's better now, it's maybe a few days, but it's still just fuck you.
You still have to wait that little bit.
Yeah. And then pay for games that are $20 more in price in the end. It's just god damn it.
Are you thinking you're gonna get a PS5?
I might wait a little bit, basically until moving into new house, because it's a deal that I've made with John. But I will buy the new TV and he will buy the new PlayStation 5, so we can combine our powers and make a fucking awesome living room setup. Yeah. And then our old TV will go into the spare bedroom where all the old consoles are, and I'm like, yeah.
The retro lounge.
Exactly. With 10 outlets everywhere in that fucking room.
Oh,
it's great.
It's gonna radiate energy all
the
time.
It will. If they all work.
Yeah, it's funny how really worked up people get over a new console release. I don't know, are the games any good? That's what I'm more concerned about. What am I actually gonna play on this thing?
Yeah.
I don't need to see the latest high fidelity version of, I don't know, Dirt 5 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
No one wants that.
No one wants that. Why?
Except rally aficionados, I guess. But
yeah, very very small market there.
Shout out to a very niche market.
Yay. But the one thing that I'm super fucking hyped for the release of PlayStation 5 is they're remaking Demon Souls, and I'm
right.
Hell yeah, that's what I want. But I still want to wait a little bit because first gen consoles are always so buggy and fucked up. Because we have a first gen console, and it's shut off before it's done some weird shit, and then there's mine, which was second gen, and it's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it, and it's just shit. I'm probably gonna wait a little bit, maybe birthday when it's March time, maybe that'll maybe have a little second wave where everything will be fixed, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, especially with such a new kind of radical design for the PS5 in particular. Who knows how all those components will actually work in the real world, in a lab setting. I'm sure Sony has tested it, and it's it's come out, this is a fine design, no problem. But when you put it into your own house, maybe the setup isn't quite perfect. What's going to happen?
Yeah. So all those lab people love dirt.
They love dirt so much.
We love dirt. Yes. But they work in a lab where it's sterile.
Yes.
Just one thing I'm going to add to the end of that is basically fuck the digital version of that, because I fucking love my games, and having them on a bookshelf to look at and be yo, these are cool. So fuck digital version only.
Seriously, yeah. I've with all of this pandemic stuff, I've actually purchased a couple more digital games, and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. No, I want my physicals.
Yeah, I like collections.
Yes.
All right.
Good stuff.
On to your next one.
Next piece. I'm gonna go with the Gundam themed PC components.
I love it.
These
I
these
love
things
it.
are so outrageous. Maybe we'll include like a link or something somewhere so people can actually look at them as well. Some of them are pretty gaudy and stupid. But there's like a lot that are like low key. Like I would totally buy these things. Like there's a monitor.
Oh
Back side of
yeah.
that monitor looks pretty dope.
Even though you'll never look at it, but I mean, it's so fucking cool.
And like one of the like is it like the motherboard component or whatever, like the main kind of piece that's inside
I
that
think that's a motherboard. I'm not really sure.
I don't really know,
I don't
but it's
really
got
know.
it's got like the Gundam, kind of colors, like the RX 78 whatever,
Yeah.
kind of color scheme going on here. um I would show that off with pride. Like Gundam is dope, and give me Gundam PC components, please. I'm sure these are like super overpriced and really
Oh,
dumb, and
most
probably
likely.
not as functional as like an actual decent computer, but you'd look really cool.
Yeah. I absolutely fucking love the case for like the tower. I
Mm-hmm.
don't super like the like LED Gundam like image on the front, but like the
Nice.
side just looks so cool and futuristic. Like,
Really good.
yo, I fucking love it.
Yeah, I mean, I also don't like the keyboard or the
Oh,
headset. That they're too like comically colored.
yeah, they
Like
they look like kids' first computer, like this is how you spell fucking cat and shit.
yeah,
It's just like,
it's,
no.
it's got hotkeys so the kids know what buttons are, or what letters are what.
Yeah, exactly. I know that like on normal keyboards you can have like you can replace the keys like the
Mhm.
WASD when you're like on PC games to move around. Like you can change them to like red and like install them on it. And it's just like no, it looks fucking dumb, so don't do
Yeah,
it.
don't do it.
But
But
yeah, no. I upload this to YouTube as well, so I'll have the image on there so people know what the fuck we're on about.
perfect. I know,
So,
right?
oh man, it's so beautiful. Oh
It
my
really is.
god.
Like, I mean, it's a nice little collection of like nerdy PC related stuff.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they drop the ball on this stuff. This stuff looks pretty fun.
Yeah, it's so extra though, but I don't care.
Very extra.
Very
Yeah,
extra. I'm really curious as to how much this shit is, but
I know.
we'll see. Maybe we'll update later.
Yeah.
And my last news one and your last news one is the same one. We didn't collaborate or talk about which ones we were choosing. But it is the Tom Holland as Nathan Drake for the Uncharted movie.
Yep. Somehow this movie is still a thing.
Apparently. The funny thing is that I was told when this like news dropped, the Twitter hashtag trending that day was Nathan Fillion's name.
Oh.
Because he did the fan short,
Mhm.
and like he's just so fucking perfect for the part, and I'm just like, why didn't you
Yeah.
ask him? He's so good.
Yeah. I guess they're thinking he's like too
Old.
old
Yeah.
now. But I mean, like, you could do some kind of like weird, like
They do
he's like a
CG reversal shit all the
you
time.
could do that. You could do that. Just de-age him.
Yeah.
Or you could go opposite and say like, like he's like a future older, grizzled take on the character or something like that. Something to
Yeah.
that effect.
Maybe he'll be in the later movies if they even exist.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom Holland, he looks like all right for the part. I worry that this movie's just going to be like another dumb, goofy video game movie.
Yeah,
But,
like all of them are.
like all of them. Yeah, because
Uh,
when has there been a good one?
I actually will vouch for Silent Hill's movie as
Yeah.
being actually pretty good.
Yes, it is a horror movie that stands on its own, and you don't have to know so much of the Silent Hill lore to actually, enjoy it.
Exactly.
This is true. This is true.
Exactly. Yeah. And it actually like faithfully follows the first Silent Hill game. And like I freaked out and I was just like, "Oh my god, oh my god." When the film was like when she's going into the alleyway for the first time and she gets like molested by those like gray children things and they're like,
Mhm.
those camera angles are exactly the same as the game. So like when it zooms out and it's like in the corner when she's like walking around the corner, I'm like, yo!
Mhm.
I'm like, why do I know this? This is so fucking lame, but I don't care. This is great.
Yeah, that's a nice little nod to the fans of the series who would probably recognize the camera angles. So they're very like unconventional movie camera kind of angles.
Yeah.
But they went for it because it works in the video game, and why not?
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, Uncharted movie, this thing has been through like the ringer in production. There's been like so many like, oh, it's going, oh no, well, new actor, oh no, he dropped, oh, new director.
It's like all films like recently. It's just like shit.
Seems like it.
Just
yeah.
shit happens. It's like, oh.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going ahead, and if anything is gonna turn into a decent movie, Uncharted is probably your safest bet because it basically is already a movie.
Yeah. And if this is successful, I can totally see like The Last of Us being made into a fucking film too. And I'm like, I'd probably enjoy that more.
Like, why hasn't someone jumped on that already? Like, that one feels like also just easy money.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, we'll probably see it in the future and be like,
it'll probably happen. Yeah.
All right.
Sweet.
Last thing before we like move on to the like main topic of discussion, even though we've been talking for like 45 minutes, it's fine. What video game music are you listening to, and what would you recommend?
Video game music that I'm listening to. I guess I have to go with I don't know. I've been playing 13 Sentinels. Yeah. Which is great.
That's my suggestion that I have. I have
really?
I have 3 names of them from like the battle themes. And they're just ridiculous names. Like it looks like medicine.
Nice. But yeah, just the whole vibe of that game, I've been really digging, and so the tunes definitely fit into that as well. So it's just the whole package has been really great, and so it's a testament to the soundtrack that it also kind of just keeps the mood just right all the time.
Yeah, no, it is really good. I thought it's like in Odin Sphere, it's like Hitoshi Sakamoto is like quite a few of the soundtracks for that. But ever since then, it's just like been a big mash of like 5 different people doing music for the Vanillaware games. So like Muramasa and this one are just like, it's just 5 different people doing all these different songs, and I'm like, I get it. So like the softer stuff, like in the school grounds, is like, that's Hitoshi Sakamoto, because it's all like, I don't know, nice and like a lot of like what are they called, chimes and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
So he's very chimey.
Chimey.
But yeah, the other ones, like, I looked up to see if he did any of the battle music. He has done a few, but none of the ones that I like, so I'm like, oh. But yeah, I would recommend, and I will try my best to say these properly. Isoleucine, it's spelled ISOLEUCINE. That was a really good one. The next one is tryptophan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Is that something? I don't know.
Tryptophan. It's in that's the turkey chemical that puts you to sleep.
Oh, okay. Well, that song will not put you to sleep because it's so fucking good.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Well, maybe it's a play on the tryptophan kind of idea that it puts you to sleep. It's gonna be counter to that.
It should say anti-tryptophan.
And
the
anti-tryptophan, yeah.
Yes. And the last one is deoxyribose.
Oh yeah.
That one's also a very good one. So yeah, those are my recommendations for 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim.
Yeah.
Or Aegis Rim. I don't know. I say Aegis Rim.
I say Aegis as well.
Okay. Some people
maybe Aegis?
Aegis? I think Japanese people say Aegis.
Aegis.
Yeah. Because there's a character in Persona 3 called Aegis. Or Aegis. Yeah. It's confusing.
Oh yeah, that's a good jam. I'm listening to Isoleucine.
Yeah.
That was good.
It was a good one. And like violin shit gets really like hype quite early on, and then it's just like, yeah. Alright, so our main topic today is monetizations, loot boxes, and less single player games. This was submitted by, I believe it's pronounced Lucija Jakuš, but I am sorry if I've butchered your name. I'm very bad at names. My apologies.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. You know who you are, maybe.
Yeah, it's quite a wide kind of range of topics there. But
yeah, basically the first little bit is the shitty parts of video games now.
And I mean, and the back half of that is also kind of like a shittier thing about video games, I guess. If you're someone who likes the single player experience and
like
maybe
us,
find that it's lacking these days.
I mean, it really is.
It kind of is.
But yeah, we'll talk. Tackle talk. These toggles. These one by one. So we'll start with like monetizations, which I'm thinking it's microtransactions and DLC and making money extra after you've bought the game, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's the same. That's what I'm thinking as well. At least when you brought it to me, that's what I thought. So.
Yeah, I hate all of those things.
it's annoying because usually that let's talk about like DLC content, I guess, first.
Yeah.
So DLC content, like, it never really, meets the expectation, I find. There's very few cases where you're paying an extra 15, 20, even more than over the actual the retail price of the game, and what you get from that is usually just not even close to the quality of the main game. It's just little ticky-tacky stuff that doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And the thing that pisses me off with some games is that the game already has like the DLC programmed into like the disc, and you just have to like go to the store and basically just like unlock it by purchasing the DLC. And it's so, like, I haven't had that because I don't buy DLC that much, but I've heard stories about it, and I'm like, that's just fucking infuriating. Like, it's already part of the game. Why would you block it off from everyone just to earn a little bit more money? Go fuck yourself. I hate it. Oh, it's so annoying.
A recent example, I just thought of it, and I was kind of appalled by it, was Tales of Berseria was on sale, and I was like, I haven't played that one. Maybe I'll pick it up. And it was on sale for like maybe $15. Like, it was dirt cheap.
That is
I was
good.
like, great, that's a good price. Maybe I'll snap on that. And then I started looking in the PlayStation Store at the other things you can buy for Tales of Berseria.
Outfits.
And the outfit packs were still full price, and some of them were $15. The price of the game.
But you gotta dress up your waifu. You gotta do it.
Because it was the swimsuit set. I mean, that's the one you want, right?
Yeah.
So,
the swim set or the party set. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the cool ones.
Oh, and it just blew me away that they would not discount that garbage tier DLC at all to go along with the discounted price of the game. So when you've got examples like that out there, it gives the whole thing like kind of like a slimy feel.
Yeah. And just like being like veteran Tales game people, we have played Tales games where you can just unlock those costumes if you've done certain things. And it's just like, why would you do this to us where like we were earning them normally and now you want us to pay for them? I hate it.
I mean, yeah, like, why not just make it? But I guess the thing is, people will pay for it. They found out that enough people will pay that $15 that it's worth it to make those assets separate. Because why not just make it a side quest if in the game? Like, that would be more fun for me if I had to actually do something to then unlock the swimsuits or whatever. Usually it just ended up like you find the onsen or something,
like, and you have
whatever,
the cutscene thingy, or what are they called in Tales games?
The side dialogue stuff.
Yeah, they have a certain name for them, but I can't remember.
Oh, that thing.
Skits. That's it. They were skits.
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 Yeah, right? So, just make it part of the game. But they're not going to do that because they know it works this way now. And,
exactly.
Yeah.
some like game companies kind of they do the like microtransactions in-game purchases kind of thing and DLC if you want to call it that. It's more like just like you want more points or something. But there are ways to earn it in game, which I'm pretty down for if there's like an alternative, but it just takes longer.
I'll grind. Yeah.
But by the way, I can hear you like scraping your hands together or something. I can hear
know
you.
What that was.
Yeah, I can just hear like.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be the mic that I'm talking to you with.
Oh,
so
okay.
It probably won't appear on the audio, but
Sweet. I can just
be
hear
okay.
it. Awesome. Anyway, we'll cut that out. So yeah, certain games that do the in-game purchases that actually like work. I've recently seen is like Fall Guys. Like you can slowly start earning all the like little coins and stuff. Certain outfits that you have to unlock, you have to like earn crowns, but by earning crown, you mean like win the whole thing.
You gotta win, yeah, right.
But eventually, as you like level up, you do eventually unlock some crowns. So they still give you certain things so that you can buy that one thing that you want. But then it's kind of all gone to shit because they rotate all of the stuff like every day. So it's like a limited deal. And so people are pressured into getting those purchases. And it's just like, I hate that. You were doing well, right? Like right then. And then you started adding like the time limits on it. And it's like, no, that's just going to make people go crazy and do stupid purchases. I hate it.
Oh, they could see that they could probably squeeze a few bucks out of people, and it's just what the name of the game is these days.
I hate it.
Yeah, it would be really nice if DLC content in particular was like worthwhile and added to the story or something. I feel like I haven't actually played it, which is maybe something I should consider, but the DLC content for Final Fantasy 15, like it was like specifically chapters for each of the characters to kind of give you some backstory as to why they are who they are, and it's like, okay, that makes sense, like maybe I was waiting for like a complete edition of Final Fantasy 15 to turn up, and then just like I never bothered with that.
Yeah,
but because it seemed like it was, even still, it was like a bit high. I think it was maybe like $10 per pack or per chapter or whatever.
So you have to rank your boys.
Right? Yeah. Who you want that Prompto chapter? You got to go. Yeah. Then sure, he's your top dog, right? You pay for that guy. Who cares about
apparently
Ignis?
he was fat before. That's what I've heard. There's
really?
there's like images of like Prompto just being the chub child. I'm like, oh, that's
Plumpto.
awesome. Prompto fat art. I'll find it.
Oh God! What a dangerous Google search.
Fat art. Actually, it's pretty safe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, it was in like the anime-ish like movie.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and he was fat, and I'm like, oh, Prompto. That's funny, but
that's a funny.
I think here we go. I'm sending it to you, but so yeah, like that seems legit. If you really like those characters, that would be a good DLC. Like,
oh no way, it's so funny.
Yeah, you fat, but he has his camera, and he likes the camera now too. But there's like honestly so few DLC that I'm like trying to think of that I'm like, was it worth it? And I'm like, I can think of one where I'm just like, I'm glad I bought it. And it's BioShock Infinite. Basically the DLC is you control Elizabeth, which is like the girl that you're like saving in the game, and gives you all this random shit that she pulls out of nowhere. And you control her, and she is in Rapture. So in the like first BioShock, the BioShock 1 and 2, she goes back to there, and then she is the connection to the first game, where it's like the plot twist of like brainwashing a child and stuff. 'Cause she gets information, I think, from like someone, and then she tells Fontaine, who is like the big baddie in the first game, And she
Mhm.
tells him this information, then he just like shoots her, and takes that information and basically starts the first game. And I'm like, whoa,
All right.
that's
pretty
good. Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah.
Big spoilers, but it's really good and very difficult because it's very sneaky and like she's bad at combat, so it's like, oh, I was so screwed for the entire thing.
Yeah,
But
I mean that's a good use of DLC. Offer us something else that kind of fits with the lore of the game and
exactly,
adds to it in some way.
yeah.
Um,
But yeah, nowadays it's just like you want your main character to look like funny thing. There you go. Give
Here you go.
us $5. It's like, oh
Yeah.
no, I don't want to.
I don't want that. No, I really don't.
Um, Another way games earn money is the episodic based games, which
Mhm.
I think I've only like bought one game that was like
Mhm.
episode by episode, and that was Life is Strange, just so that I
Yep.
could play it on for YouTube, and then I did, and then I was like, I
Mhm.
never want to play this ever again, or the continuation. I'm like, I thought it was pretty meh.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess if yeah, with a weird it's funny because like yeah, episodic it's like I feel like I'm not the pricing is appropriate, I guess, because you're not paying like full price for a game and then full price for the next part. So,
Yeah.
as long as like the gameplay hours versus to dollars ratio is intact, then like that's like not a bad way to do it. If you're maybe a smaller company that can only put out so much game at one time, can't do a whole project, or otherwise it would take like 10 years to make.
Yeah, very true. Like you have the hype,
Yeah.
so you have to like release something. Like
Mhm.
I get it that way, but then I think Resident Evil tried to do it, and I'm just like, no, you're a big company. I think it was it
Mhm.
Revelations too?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did the
they
episode
did.
based shit with it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, you're a big company, you can do this. So stop doing the episode shit and just
Yeah.
get on with it.
Just give me the whole game.
Yeah.
Definitely. I guess they're just trying to like milk that little bit of time in the spotlight, but I don't think it works out the way they intend it to, because like everyone just kind of like they'll binge a whole TV show now.
Oh yeah, especially
uh,
now.
and you see that like a show is really popular for a little bit and then it just completely falls off the radar because everyone's already watched it.
Yep.
And so I guess with a video game episode model, they're thinking that people will like keep watching or keep playing, and that game will stay in the news cycle. And I don't know. I think like part 1 hits, and then it's like, okay, the rest are available if you want them.
Yeah.
And
No, I don't think video games can do it like seasons in a TV show. Like there's TV shows are like widely accepted by like many different audiences, whereas video games are like for gamers and stuff. And we've grown up with just the whole game at our fingertips, and we don't want to fucking wait for it. So we're not gonna.
Yeah. And I mean, I can understand like if you've made a sequel to a game, like that's totally fine, you know. But yeah, the episodic model, I just don't think it quite works.
No, it does not. Boo. I disapprove.
Mm-mm.
All right, so we'll go on to the next topic, which I have notes down, and I'm like, fuck this. And it's loot boxes. And so my notes write as follows. Fuck everything to do with loot boxes. They are a form of gambling. Stop putting them in your games and getting kids to charge their parents' credit cards and shit. That's what I put down, because it happens. It happens so much over here. Like there's a news article on like BBC, and it's just like, oh, my kid really wanted Ronaldo in the fucking FIFA game, and he like spent like all our savings, and now we can't eat because he wanted Ronaldo so much. It's like, god damn it.
There's gacha FIFA? What?
Yeah, like it's loot boxes for fucking FIFA players, and everyone wants Ronaldo because he's the best, and it's like, oh my god. Because of course the UK is full of people who love football and shit, so there you go.
Holy. Oh, I had no idea.
That's
funny. I thought terrible. I thought it was just limited to like getting your gacha waifu. but
Oh no!
wow.
Well, it's in like Call of Duty and stuff like that too, where like
Sure.
you can buy them to, I don't know, get better starting equipment. I don't know. I don't play those games, but
Yeah, I mean, Call of Duty has its own, definitely, it's got a lot of gotcha elements. It's all, aesthetic upgrades to, the characters you can use,
mhm.
and weapon skins and stuff like that. Things that
Yeah,
really, they just don't matter.
yeah, it
But
really doesn't.
sometimes you can't help yourself.
Yeah, because you're like, it looks really cool, or this
Yeah.
weapon is really nice, so it's like,
hmm
but I hate them.
It's a bad system. It
It
really is.
is.
It is. Uh, wow, gotcha FIFA. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I just have like no words for that one.
Yeah, it's nuts. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's gotten so bad in certain countries. Belgium and China have outlawed loot boxes
Mm,
from major video games. So they might not include smaller games, but smaller games tend to not have fucking loot boxes in them. So
mm-hmm.
um
Yeah, because behind a lot of these loot boxes are like the major companies because they know it's big cash grabs for them. So
yep.
with minimal effort, because like it's just it's like it's a JPEG of your favorite character or something, and you're paying, you know 20, 30, 40, $50 to
To
try
get
and get
that
them.
one thing, yeah.
You know, and you look at the percentages on how to draw, like the pre, especially in gotcha games, loot boxes are kind of like one thing where generally what you're getting. So,
Mhm.
in Call of Duty, for instance, the pack comes out and it's like, okay, it's this gun, it's this skin, and it's this little charm thingy, and you pay the money and you get the thing. So in that case, it's like it's not as terrible because you know exactly what you're getting. Anytime you introduce like the random element as to what the prize is,
Yeah.
that's when it gets really nasty.
That's gambling.
It
It's
is,
gambling. And kids are
Yeah,
gambling and it's not right.
it's the same rush that you get from that experience, from putting all your money on 32 on the roulette wheel and then waiting for it to pop up and then getting it. It's that kind of hit.
Yeah.
And yeah, and the odds of getting some of these like ultra rare characters or items or whatever the heck it is in the game, like minuscule percent chances, and it gets certain people.
Oh yeah.
It preys on like a completionist's kind of OCD, where I've got to get this character, I've got to get this weapon, even if it's a 0.5% chance that I'm going to get it, I'm going to keep rolling until I do, and then $500 later, they've maybe finally landed, but they're out $500 for a
Oh yeah.
stupid nonsense game.
Yeah. No, I have like my weeaboo friends like on Facebook, and
hmm
all they play is that like fucking like Fate game. Like,
Grand
yeah,
Order.
yeah, whichever one it is. There's so many, but
Yep.
and they just like post like all the time like, yo, I pulled this, and I'm like, I have no
hmm
idea what you're talking about. And
hmm
it's like, I pulled this character from this. I'm like, this looks like this character. Actually in this version they're this, and it's like, oh my god, I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if the game behind these was substantial or better, then like you can, it's still not great, but at least there is some kind of actual game involved. But they're just trash,
Yeah.
gameplay wise. Like it really is. There's no story. It's really rudimentary. Like if it's a battle game, the battle is it's so basic. Like it just makes the only appeal is to get your character,
Yep.
and that sucks.
Yeah, it's a waifu collective game.
Yeah,
Just
that's all it
collect your
is.
waifu in various different forms, especially in the Fate series, because dear God,
Yes.
it's just like, here's Rin Tosaka, and then here's Ishtar from a different one, and I'm like, but it's the same
She's the
exact, like,
same thing.
yeah, she's just wearing a different costume.
But she's wearing a different costume.
Yeah,
That's the whole point.
but she's wearing a hat. There's a new hat. No. It's so true. Even Simpsons predicted it.
Simpsons did it.
Uh,
um
I guess we
yeah, so
should.
we were talking about Genshin Impact earlier and how you were thinking about maybe diving into it. At least that is offering some kind of game behind
Yes.
everything,
Breath of the Wild's weebs.
I'll give them credit for that. Like there is actually a game there, and from what I can tell, you can get by playing it for free.
Yeah.
It's just the good characters. Oh boy, they are very rare and they are very good.
Yeah, you want these certain things. Well, you might have to grind forever, or you can buy this. It's like, it is for, and the whole mentality is, oh, I did get this game for free, so I don't mind putting a little bit of money into it. It's like that's
and then that it just kind of starts to and the trickle starts, and then you just keep feeding little bits of money here and there, and soon enough you spent well over like what a regular game should cost, and you're like, how did that happen?
Yep. Oh yeah, I kept making excuses up for myself about purchasing shit from this game. Yep.
Yep. $5 here, $10 there. Soon enough, yep, you're
Deadly.
well over 100 or something. You're like,
yeah.
wow, did I get $100 worth of value out of this? Not really.
No. Nothing is 100.
No.
Although I have bought a lot of like add-on packs for The Sims 3, so.
Hey, that's content right there.
And I've logged in like nearly 400 hours into it, so that's okay.
That is also something to consider.
Yes.
I purchased one little stupid bundle in Call of Duty, and I looked at my playtime, and I've played like something like 200 stupid hours in that game. So I'm like, okay. I spent $20.
This
I
is
spent
worth
$20. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, that's all you're getting from me, you fucks.
That's all you're getting.
You tricked me
Activision, I
once.
hate you.
Shame on you. All right, we'll get to the last bit here. Less and less single-player games.
Yeah.
I think this is the internet's fault. Because, like, just the internet and being so connected to so many people, like, really easily, it's just, it's easier to make multiplayer games and for people all to get involved. And it's I don't know, like, video games have evolved into a more, like, multiplayer-based type thing, I think.
Yeah, games are a lot more. It's a different kind of social now. Whereas, like, you could probably play a single player game where everyone would crowd around the TV watching you play it. I mean, I guess kind of like Twitch now, where you can all crowd around and watch a streamer play it. But yeah, the number of games that come out that are single player, there's less and less because people want to play with other people, it seems. I guess as the like market has grown, like you have more social people who are gamers now, and so they want that kind of connection, whereas maybe before it was more niche, kind of like basement dwelling kind of nerdiness, and so I just want to play by myself, kind of stuff.
It was definitely a very nerdy thing to do.
Very nerdy.
Yeah, and now everyone's embraced it. I'm so surprised how many girls at my school, an all-girls school, and how many of them play Among Us, and I'm just, like, baffled. Because, like, growing up, I'm like, I knew, like, one other girl in my entire school who played fucking video games. Like, I knew a bunch of dudes, obviously, because video games are for boys and stuff. But yeah, it was like one other person, and it was just like the best thing ever to happen to me. It's just like, holy shit, you play games too? Oh my god, I'm not alone anymore. And now everybody plays it, and it's not special anymore. So it's just like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a good thing.
It is a good thing
in a lot of ways, that it really is, like, it's bringing a lot of people together, and it's more inclusive than ever before. But why have single player games kind of gone by the wayside? That is really still an interesting question,
Yeah. I noticed that, like, basically it's like indie developers that are like taking on the single player games kind of thing. And they're kind of, like, reviving it, and that's, like, where you have to go to get, like, good stories now. But I think, like, game developers are just trading story for just more content for people to use and whatnot, unfortunately.
I think with a single-player game, again, we're back to kind of... It almost kind of ties in with our whole loot boxes and monetization situation. When you buy a single-player game and you play it and you're done, it's over. There's nothing more.
Yeah.
And I guess like with a multiplayer game, especially for like from a company's perspective, with a multiplayer game, you can milk it for much longer
Mm-hmm.
and keep people interested and offer more stuff to different events and stuff that you have, and keeping like that online community going keeps the game going and keeps it in the spotlight a little longer.
Yeah, no,
Maybe.
that's definitely it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like listening to you. I'm like, yeah, that's
mm-hmm.
sadly how it is.
Mm-hmm. And they, with a multiplayer game, you can definitely do the add-on stuff, and people will buy it.
Yeah.
Whereas again, like I think some of the examples we've talked about when it came to DLC content that we didn't buy was for single player games, like all that Tales garbage, or
Yeah.
the Final Fantasy 15 stuff. Like even though I liked that game, I didn't want to buy the DLC, and yet I
Yeah.
bought a weapon pack for Call of Duty somehow.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Fucking brainwashing.
I wanted people to see my cool new M13. Like people needed to see me with that gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas
It's kind
of by myself,
yeah. It's a flashy thing, and showing off like I'm a good player. See, I have the thing.
Yeah.
The thing that everyone wants. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's sort of mind blowing, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm sad now.
I know, because there's still there are good single player games out there. We were just talking about 13 Sentinels. Like, what a great game that is.
Fucking great. Unfortunately,
so
no replay value whatsoever.
I imagine not. Yeah.
So good though.
But yeah. It must be like I bet you it's like harder to pitch a game to like a big company and go, it's single player, here's the story, people are going to play it once, and that's going to be all they're going to want to do. And some money guy at the company goes,
money guy,
no, money guy,
yeah,
hey,
I'm money guy,
I'm money guy, this will not make us enough money. They're just going to play it once for 20-hour game, and that's it.
That's bad money. I'm here for good money.
Well, yeah. I mean, I read a transcript once for like an investor call for Activision, and the way that they talk about games, they don't care about people playing the games.
Yeah, of course they don't.
It's all about how can we keep people engaged with our product, and it's like, fucking shut up. So that's why they try and make as much money as they can with all these kind of like add-on things, and I think the multiplayer games do better at keeping that kind of money stream going. So
yeah, oh definitely, because you got people chatting to each other about it and like planning shit, and like single player, it's your own little thing, your own little experience. World. You don't really discuss it with other people who haven't played it, so it's just like because there's no way I want to discuss 13 Sentinels with anybody, because I ruined so much, and it would make your like playthrough so shit, and you'll be so angry with me. So I'm like, I'm just gonna quote a few things that have nothing to do with anything, or maybe they do. Who knows? But I'm just gonna quote them. So yeah, right now the only two things that I quote are because there's like that thought bubble at the beginning where she's like, I'm thinking about War of the Worlds and H.G. Wells, the author, and she just super Japanese voice, I'm like, oh yeah, boy.
Sweet.
And then
the little thought bubbles where the thought bubble like then says like the person's name. I love that.
Yeah.
Like, what a nice little touch.
Oh, it's so good.
I'll run through the whole like little thought bubble menu, just listening to every little quote, every name or whatever. Again.
Thankfully, you can fast forward ones that you've like already heard before, and then they won't fast forward through ones that you haven't heard before. And I'm like, I fucking love it.
Nice.
Yeah. See, good game. Good game. Many people should play.
Single player games, seriously though, are like my most cherished experiences with video games though. Like, it's such a shame that it's like it does seem to be not dying, but definitely it's not number one anymore. Like, I mean, I played Dragon Quest 11, like fantastic. I played through all 100 hours of that nonsense. It was great.
Ooh, yeah.
Breath of the Wild, excellent, fantastic. What a great game. Yeah, I haven't played that many multiplayer games except for freaking stupid Call of Duty.
Yeah, because friends say so.
Because friends say so, and so you got to do what the friends want to do.
Yeah,
so,
you gotta be the good friend.
got to be a good friend.
Yeah, no, I'm only like playing single player because I just
yeah.
don't like multiplayer. I hate because I know I get competitive, and so I'm like, I don't want that reflecting online, and it's just fucking so toxic, and I
become so shitty.
Oh, I know. I'm like, I don't want to be that shitty person.
I'm so shitty. I hate it.
Yeah, I like start swearing so much. It's like, no, I can't do this. Like,
no, and you just get so mad for no reason. And,
exactly, and it might just be
painful.
like a 12-year-old kid just like messing about and not even knowing what they're doing. It's just like, fuck you! I fucking hate you! Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry, child. Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right.
Yeah, so the death of single player games.
Yeah.
What a shame.
We might see it in our lifetime. Hopefully not.
There's still good ones out there, but yeah, it sucks that they are not the main form of video game entertainment these days.
No, instead we have to just replay ones that we've already played, which is fine because they're all really fucking good. So
good.
Yeah. Alrighty, that'll wrap up this episode. I've finished my third rum and coke.
Nice.
I am nice and warm in the cheeks.
So now you're 3 tonics in.
I am 3 tonics in. Wow. The requirement is 2 tonics in before we even start talking. So
yes.
I was on my second one as we were talking in the first little bit. So yeah. Anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed that. It's very deep topics there. And hopefully we'll be more regular with these, but schedules and all that shit, so you'll see it when you see it. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.